G'day again, Andy Marr here. Part 2 of the season in review of The Blueprint, proudly brought to you by our very, very good friends at Hyundai. Mark McClure joins me alongside, as he does every single time we gather. We're about to have a look at the John Nichols Medal Camp for 2014 sellers, and we'll get to that in a moment, the forerunners and the front runners and the guys who have had outstanding seasons. But in part 1, we had a look at the found players, the guys that we think that we've uncovered this year, and guys who have taken significant steps forward in 2014. Now, a couple of the names we're likely to mention now aren't necessarily going to feature that heavily in the best and fairest count, but there's a few that we were neglectful of not mentioning in part 1.
Yeah, you missed them.
I did. I know you had them,
but you missed them.
I was. Yeah, that's
Dylan
right.
Buckley's one of them.
You're right. Yes.
And young Dylan, who played a big part in that West Coast game at the end when he kicked the goal from sort of 55. But the way he moves the ball and the way he attacked the ball this year shows that he has got a future with his football club, and he's going to go somewhere. I like the way he plays. He's attacking.
He's a competitor.
Absolutely. You know, so was his old man, and that's how you got. If you're not a competitor, don't turn up. That's one of the things that we talk about. The other one is Cam Wood. Cam Wood come across from Collingwood. He's 28 years of age. He's the perfect age to actually start to play well. At 28 as a ruckman, they take time to come through. He takes a mark around the ground. He's been very good. He made a couple of blues in a couple of games, but nothing that would be untowards. I would hope that they keep with him and run with him for another year at least.
Before you talk about the next guy, and I'm very keen for you to talk about him, the ruck situation at Carlton going forward from a list management perspective becomes really interesting. Cruz comes back online next year, and I know you say there's no luck in footy, but let's hope the bad luck for him individually is beyond. He's had to deal with too many injury concerns. Let's hope he can get a genuine run at it.
No, I do too. I think he does.
If there's any truth to the story that
Cox,
Dean Cox is likely to come over on a one-year veteran rookie list type position to be a backup ruckman and fulfil a role as part of the coaching team. Then we're going to have 4 ruckmen on our list. And I think everybody at the footy club really likes Robbie Warnock, and he's much respected and admired at the footy club. But is 4 ruckmen too many on the list? And how
is this decision made by the recruiting people? Well,
this is just you and I having a chat now. This is certainly not coming out of the footy club at all. But you just look at the list and I think...
Well, if Cox comes, Warnock has to go. If that's what you think. I think that you can't do that. But Cox is going to give you what? 6-7 games maybe.
Well,
if he actually
back.
plays.
I mean, he might not play at all.
May not play at all. But if you're going to fit him on your list, you're going to have to fit him on your list. And who's going out for him? So you may be able to get something for one of them, and then you can draft a young one again and start to build again. And that's the game. That's how the game works. So. Look, that'll be decided by the recruiting department, I hope.
Before we look at the BNF, just Kieran Sheen. I think all Carlton supporters like the way the kid went about his footy at the end of the year. It's another remarkable Irish story. Did you like the way he went about his footy?
Love the way he went about it. What a ripper. I mean, kid who's played 14 games of football and his life comes out and plays AFL and looks like he's been a part of it for a while. He got lost a few times in little bits and pieces, but you would expect that. I think the future stands pretty good for this kid.
Let's have a look at the front runners for the John Nichols Medal for 2014. I think all Carlton supporters are delighted about the season this bloke had.
He didn't start very well, but his mid-season and onwards was outstanding. He was brilliant. He was in the best players in the competition in that time, and these sort of goals around packs, he was brilliant. They had a little thing where they punched out towards the boundary line sometimes on some areas, and this kid can kick them from anywhere. He beat Selwood one day in that game against Geelong, if you remember. He flogged him. And they're talking about Selwood as being the best player in the competition. And look at this goal. This is fantastic. Brilliant stuff. And he has got it all. But it's taken a while to come. And now it's come. We're very pleased.
Well, he's at the right age. I mean, he could have 5 or 6 years of being, at the very least, of being an elite player in the competition. And I hope for Bryce's sake, and we're about to talk about Murph as well, and I hope those two fellas now feel like the club's there. This team is theirs. This is their team now, and Juddy's sort of where he's at, and it's great that he's going to play another year. But I hope Gibbs and Murphy and these blokes now believe that they can shape the destiny of this group, and they're allowed to say stuff to players. If they want to tell a bloke to pull their head in, or you're not going to be sticking around for much longer, I want them to be those players.
Well, I hope they are, because when you actually say to someone like, I don't like that cardigan you're wearing.
It's not a cardigan.
You only wore it because you didn't on your shirt, I'm sure. But, the whole thing... But the vest,
and I like cardigans.
Anyway, but you know what I'm saying? If you're going to say something to someone about that, you've got to be pretty good yourself. And I think that's the important part about
Don't you
it.
talk. Have a look at your glasses. I mean, if you ever go at my vest, it's very easy for me to come back.
No
Can you
comebacks.
just
No
just
comebacks,
put those on?
But let me
down
say
the
this,
barrel,
I
please.
do want them to be honest with each other.
So do I.
And
that's
sometimes someone's going to get hurt, but
Yep.
you know what, if they get hurt, they shouldn't be there.
Despite the fact that I'm now in a great deal of pain, I'll sort of keep
Well, you're
punching.
going to stay here for a while?
Mark Murphy. It's nice to be back anyway, Sellers. We didn't look like we were going
Murph.
to come back again, but it's nice to
Yeah,
be.
he was terrific. He had a great year, Murph. This is a goal and a half. I mean, not too many people in the world can kick this, but Murph can.
Yeah.
Brilliant to be able to actually think about even trying to do it. And again, his front and square stuff, that was really good. Hit the packs, came from 30 or 40 metres back, and that's what you want from these guys. Here he goes again. And watch this little dodge and weave here. Bang. See you later. Another one. I'll see you later too. And then he goes through and kicks a goal. This kid's got some talent, and his leadership's getting better.
Yeah. No. In fact, can we just do something here?
No.
No. Can I have those?
No, you can't.
Right.
They're very expensive.
Oh, they're not that expensive.
$7 South Melbourne Market.
Yes.
And I get a cut of everything.
Have a look at them. We know what they look like now.
Come on.
Chris Yarran, what a season. I mean, we've all, again, I feel like we're a bit of a broken record here, but we sort of waited for the penny to drop.
Who can't like this?
I know.
Who couldn't like this stuff?
I wonder how good he might...
Could you do that?
Not 1,000.
I could chase almost close. I don't think I could get close.
I'd be 2 steps and he'd be gone.
But how fast can he go? We don't know yet because no one gets near him. This bloke actually had a bit of a dip here, and then all of a sudden he just put the burners on and said, "See you later." And I don't know how fast he really is.
There's
I mean,
times
Varco can run.
Yeah.
He didn't even get
Holland
close.
Smith doesn't even try.
No,
he knows
just
he's
gave
got
up.
no hope.
That was a token chase. And
The
we all
game
did
looks
that.
too easy for him. Do you reckon sometimes
He's 23. Hasn't learned it all yet.
Yeah.
I reckon another year or so, this kid's going to be something special.
Yeah, no,
he's special now. He could be better.
Happy on the home front, which is a beautiful thing for...
How do you know that? He's been talking to you.
No, it's a good thing. I think, you know what it's like. If you're happy at home, then it's reflected in your footy, and I think that's a good thing.
Are you happy at home?
Oh, very happy at home.
Good on you.
How do you reckon I'm going today?
No good.
Right.
Who's next?
Kate Simpson.
Kate Simpson.
Signed for another 2 years, just churned out another fantastic year.
How consistent is this guy? He's the ultimate consistent player. He's built like a string bean, but he's wiry and tough, and he just continues to fight, plays back, plays forward, does what he... look, he is... If you wanted to have a role model as a young kid coming in, this kid would be fantastic.
Yeah.
And that's where kids learn, from the players who they play with.
Yeah.
Coaches can help, but you learn more from your peers than you do from your coaching staff, let me assure you.
He's one of those guys that he's now... And I don't know Kate Simpson very well at all, but I hope he's...
Quiet.
But I want him to be one of those guys that... Because he can look a bloke in the eye and say, listen, I go when I've got to go, and you need to do the same thing. And if you're not going to, then...
He goes when he shouldn't go sometimes.
That's part of the problem,
and that's
isn't
the
it?
key. That's why he's such a good and respected player.
Hey, can I say that I hope Sam Rowe finishes in the top 5 in our BNF? Am I allowed to do that?
I think you did.
I hope he finishes top 5 in our best and fairest.
Well, I do too, because his journey's been one of something special. Struck with cancer and beat it. The club stuck with him, which I actually really love. I love what they did there, stick with him for so long. And then he comes back and rewards him with the stuff he's done this year. Well, he's got to be almost... Have a young player of the year or a new player of the year that's really sort of stood up. I don't know what the actual awards are.
Is there a medal after you? Have we got something that a player gets named after you?
The only thing I was good at was the aftermatch.
Oh, that's not true.
And I was very good there.
That's not... Oh, look, I know I've said it once or twice.
I think Mitch Robinson's got that.
Right. It's just delightful to be here and have had the opportunity to dissect our season with you, because it was looking a bit shaky there for a while. But
well, it was very shaky.
It was there for a while, but it's nice to be back.
I don't know how you got invited back. I can't believe it.
That's all we've got time for today. Thanks for watching. Let's hope that the off-season's good for everybody and we get back in 2015 and she is a great year. Good luck to everybody in the 2014 John Nichols medal count. That's it for us for the year. We'll see you next year.
I think there's no doubt we'll be shanked after this.
Bye for now.